little adventure. Just another little snippet for you. Now along this stretch, I mean, I know time has got rid of this, but for those people regarding the history aspect of things, two of the most famous canal carriers were situated here on the right hand side, on either side of Bridge 73, which is the one you can see in the distance, and they were Samuel Barlow and S.E. Barlow, and you see a few boats with them names on now, so you don't see it, but again, there's something very historic here with the Barlow boats, and probably further ahead as well. There's another place what pays a little tribute to the Barlow boats, but that's later. The other thing as well, what really amazes me, it's early morning, there's no need to rush about, but the usual I must get past you gang are already out. And another one rushes by. So through the bridge, this is the Marsden's pub called the Gate. Like I say, it's very reasonable, and if you're more on their side, you get free water and electric, so it can't be bad. But for a pub chain, that's an excellent pub, and I'd recommend the Gate to anybody. Well, there's a couple of things coming up, again with a little bit of history as well, because that's the way I am. I like talking about stuff, what I actually know. I think this is the natural basin, what's now a marina, and you just look how low that bridge is. You have to be pretty careful going through there. But they also do a lot of restoration here. Old boats, this area, all this area in the Coventry, there's a lot of restoration of old boats. Heck of a lot. Now that's the other marina on that side. Now I think that's definitely the man-made one. But also up here, I'll show you in a minute. In the meantime, I'll just show you what I mean about the restoration of boats. They do quite a bit here, and it's constantly going. It's a bit like where we've been at Glascote Basin Boatyard. They do a lot of restoration. It just seems to be ongoing. It's not for me because it's not comfortable enough, but I do really appreciate the efforts these people put into to keep these old working boats going along. So I do appreciate seeing them. It's just not my the type of boating I want to do. When I came out to Glascote, I was talking about the Barlow boats, and this pub, which I've got to be honest, it's unusual, but it's actually quite relaxing inside. This has been named the Samuel Barlow, and no doubt that is like paying homage to the Barlow boats. And it's nice, this area seems to have a heck of a lot of history regarding boats. It's not the most scenic of places, but historically there's a lot going on, and they do have events here as well. But yeah, that's an unconventional pub inside, but it's very, very relaxing. And there's another one of the the working boats down there, so they're all over the place around here, and it is nice to see, definitely is. Right, we'll continue. Now then, and I don't think anybody will have said this on YouTube, but down the line where we're going on the canal now, I'm going to give you a snippet of information what is not related to the canal, but I just feel like just letting you know, because I do think it's unusual. It's not earth-shattering, but it's just a little bit of information, and that's what I like to give people as I'm trundling along, as they say. Now I think I'm right on this, it's only a little part left, but as you're looking now where those boats are, that is part of a basin where the coal was loaded, and I suspect that because it's near Polesworth, a more unusual named working boat did all the work here, or a lot of it, and they were called Messrs Lee and I think it's Atkins. Yeah, Messrs Lees and Atkins, and they were another working boat, but they don't seem to be half as common as the Thomas Claytons, or Fellows Morton and Clayton should I say, and the Barlow boats, but they were certainly a working boat from Polesworth. Right, here we are, as we're slowly but surely coming along this inconspicuous piece of canal, but to the right you will see a building, and that is called Pooley Hall. P-O-O-L-E-Y, Pooley Hall. And it does have a little bit of a claim to fame. Now,
who used to live in a house?
I knew Bernadette would come in handy there. But as you see the tops of it there, and it looks like it almost looks like a keep at a castle. In that building there, which we will see more clearly in a minute, believe it or not, and it does seem a bit weird, but in that building there lived a Tamala Motown soul singing superstar, and they lived there for quite a while. Now I know you can't see it now, so I'll just stop, and when we see it better I'll continue the story. As we're going past now, it's quite a big building there, but the Tamala Motown soul superstar was Edwin Starr. Now, some of you might not have a clue, but if you're in the right era, he sung a protest song called War, and you can still get it on YouTube and that now, and it's still very apt to this day. Quite simply, it says, war, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. And that's still very true to this day. But as it gets obliterated now by the trees, that is where where Edwin Starr lived for quite a while. Well, on many occasions we've moored up here. We're coming to a place called Polesworth, and again Polesworth was a mining town and had the working boats here, as a lot of places do on this canal. but we moor up normally on the left here, and Polesworth's actually a very nice little town, and perhaps on our journeys, on our journey back, we'll probably stop here. Well, we've moored up in the middle of somewhere before Atherstone Locks. We thought we just felt like a bit of chill time. Not a long journey, but we just thought it was nice to just stop, which is what boating's all about. As and when you want to stop, just do it. Plus it's not a bad view. But, oh, here's Bernadette. Yes, Bernadette likes it here, so we're definitely staying. Yes, just been for a walk and coming back now. I think this might be our place for the evening. Early finish today, as they say. I think it's time to have a bit of lunch. Now, somewhere behind is Bernadette, but I don't know if she's here. She's here, just coming through. So we'll make our way back to the boat and call that a short cruising day. No harm in that either.
It's almost cheese and wine time.
Yes, that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. Yes, when you don't rush, life's a whole lot better on the canals. Targets spoil everything, definitely.